Hello and welcome everyone, this is Calebovitsch coming to you with another Storybook Brawl video. We are in the final stretch. This is the last video from my uber mega tier list of heroes in the game. And this is going to be about the last batch of 8, from 25 to 32. And we are going to start on Sad Dracula. Ironically, the happiest hero in the game. Sad Dracula says your front row characters have Slay, +1 attack permanently. So this has two parts. One, it is a special ability that says your front row has Slay, and that matters. The other part is they can gain attack permanently. So it's half special, half stats, but mostly it is also very special. So early in the game, Sad Dracula makes it so your characters are getting buffs. In an average combat, let's say 2 of your characters attack and 2 of the opposing characters attack, the front row ones. So 2 of yours kill theirs, 2 of theirs kill yours, and that is +2 attack with no added cost. That's fine. In the mid game, you can get more pieces of some Slay combos. But remember, Sad Dracula doesn't mean you have to go for a Slay composition per se. What Sad Dracula says that you can get everything that goes off of Slay and put it with not exactly Slay units. There are only 9 Slay units in the game after all, and there are a lot of things that support Slay. There are several treasures that support Slay, like level 2 bounty board that gives you gold, level 3 bad moon that makes your slayers grow each time they slay, your cloak of the assassin, all your Slay characters get +3/+3. And here's where the special card part comes in rather handy for Sad Dracula. With Cloak of the Assassin, the level 3 treasure that says your Slay characters have +3/+3, that literally means your front row has +3/+3. Nice, right? Right. The key piece of the puzzle, more often than not, is the character, the level 3 character called Shadow Assassin. It's a 3-cost evil monster. It is a 1/1, and it says whenever one of your characters slays, this one gets +1/+1. Shadow Assassin gets +1/+1 permanently. When he's upgraded, it's +2/+2. And the biggest combo, the biggest strategy of Sad Dracula usually is getting those Shadow Assassins to be huge and amazing and over 200 attack. In the late game, it is not really... it is slightly worse than mid-game. I'm going to tell you why in a moment when I go for combos and non-bows. Variance for Sad Dracula is quite high because you need a couple of key pieces when it comes to characters, and that is Shadow Assassin, and treasures, which are those that I mentioned, and another level 5 that is called Harvest Moon, that says your Slay characters attack twice. Difficulty of playing Sad Dracula is rather high, or medium high. I would rate it at 3 out of 5. Masking into Sad Dracula is early on is alright because you will be getting those stat buffs. Dreaming into it later on, it depends on what you already have, but Sad Dracula being special, very special indeed, means if your composition is already going for what Sad Dracula can be going for, that means, yeah, by all means do. If you want to... Wait, let me back up a moment. There is one specific Sad Dracula composition that, in my opinion, is one of the best compositions in the game right now. It is based either on Sad Dracula as a hero or on a bunch of characters and additional treasures as well, because that's theoretically Sad Dracula's ability theoretically could be made redundant there, but it's additional Slay, so it's... Even still, Sad Dracula is better. Let me just say that. It is all about getting Harvest Moon, the level 5 treasure that allows you to grow your things. Sorry, let me take back. Harvest Moon allows your Slayers to attack twice, and your Shadow Assassins grow even more. And you're playing Baba Yagas, which double the Slay abilities, which also doubles the Shadow Assassin procs, and you can put additional Slay triggers on your characters with Riverwish Maiden, the level 4 good princess, and you're just stacking it and stacking it and stacking it. And that is why I think Sad Dracula is better in mid-game, because that composition doesn't need any level 6 characters for it to succeed. If you want to see it in action, try to find a video on my YouTube channel called Full Metal Dracula, and watch it and be in awe of what this one can do. Like, seriously, this is the best composition that doesn't rely on level 6 characters. Sadly, with Sad Dracula, there is one non-bow or anti-combo that I've caught myself on more than once, and it is Grim Soul. Grim Soul is a level 4 monster that says, last breath, trigger one of your other character's Slay abilities. Usually you want to play Grim Soul with stuff like Adventurer to gain experience points, with Polywoggle to transform it without it having to slay anything, etc, etc. You can't go for that combo with Sad Dracula, because Grim Soul can also trigger one of your frontliners +1 to attack. I mean, if you're going for the Full Metal Dracula, then Grim Soul can enhance that strategy. It only doesn't work with Adventure, Polywoggle, and that sort of things. Alright, let's move on to the next, and it is Sir Galahad. Sir Galahad, when you find a treasure, give your characters +2/+1 permanently. Okay, so you need treasures, and it gives you stats. But it is difficult to get treasures, and as I said earlier in the earlier videos, all, or most, aside from Morgan Le Fay, all heroes that need to get treasures are very high variance, because it's not that easy to get treasures. The easiest way to get treasures, actually, is doing all the quests for Princess and Princesses. So going for Cinderella on 2, Brave Princess on 3, Nutcracker on 4, etc. But early in the game, usually you're not getting those stat buffs. In the mid-game, it can be, you can probably get more of them, so you are going for pairs, building your board and bench, and then combining your characters to get the treasure, to get the +2/+1 wide on your whole board. But in the late game, that +2/+1 is not doing that much for you, more often than not. If you skip the treasure and gain 2 gold, you still get the buff. That's something noteworthy. The difficulty of playing Sir Galahad is rather medium. I mean, you need to get those treasures, so you are banking on finding pairs and trips more than any singles. Masking into him is better, obviously, if you already have a pair or 2, but dreaming into him later on is not the greatest. So the biggest combos for Sir Galahad are just ways for you to get more treasures. And that is by doing quests, as I've already said, but also for a level 4 treasure called Dwarven Forge that says you only need 2 dwarves to upgrade them, i.e. to get a treasure, which means it's easier for you to get treasures, it's easier for those dwarves to grow permanently. Just mince through them in the stores. Even buying 2 level 2 dwarves costs you 4, gives you 2 gold back from the treasure because you usually don't want that treasure, and gives you 1 gold back from selling that upgraded dwarf. And you are back to your previous chance of finding those dwarves. So there is that. A slight non-bow with Sir Galahad is Gilded Harp and Excalibur, because those treasures already give you upgraded characters in your store, and that means you cannot upgrade them further, i.e. you cannot get treasures, i.e. this ability doesn't do anything, either for level 2s and 3s or for all the characters in the game in the store. It is a fun one to play, but the variance here usually drives me to not pick it, unless Twitch chat picks it. Then wish me luck. All right. Skip the Time Skipper. You start at level 3 and skip your first round. Not entirely. It only means that you start with +3 experience points and you have 0 gold in your store on your first round. It is a very special ability, so it's a special type of a hero. Although, if you're on level 3, you have some spells available for you that cost 0. You can cast Forbidden Fruit, but it doesn't do anything aside from hitting you in the face for 2. You can cast Free Roll if you don't like your shop and would like to see another one. Or you can cast Falling Stars and deal 1 damage across the board, and maybe you can draw in the first round if the opponent has something with just 1 health. Anyway, assessing Skip's ratings is really difficult, because what Skip does is he skips ahead, literally. So he is earlier to level 4, level 5, and level 6 than any other hero. Usually, I mean, if you can get to 6 faster than Skip, that's an achievement in and of its own. I think I've done that once or twice in the past. But the ratings on his mid-game and late game have an asterisk, and that means it doesn't do anything on those levels, but given the fact that you are faster to those levels, is already high value for you. Best examples are getting to level 5 before anyone else and finding a wretched mummy. You know, the one that on last breath deals 4 damage across the board, the opposing board. Or being the first one to get to level 6, because the level 6 characters are scaled up there, and they are so much better. Unfortunately, playing Skip is one of the 2 most difficult heroes to play, aside from Peter Pants. I think Peter Pants is still more difficult. Or maybe Skip, I don't know, one or the other. Both, I guess. Variance for Skip is very high. And the biggest problem of Skip is he needs to catch up on the board. Not being able to buy 1 lowly, measly level 2 character in round 1 and trying to regain your board position is not as easy as it sounds, especially that your shop is cluttered with higher level characters, meaning more often than not you can only buy 1 character early on when all the other players are playing 2. So you are playing from behind. You have skipped ahead on time, you will get to the finish line faster, but you have to catch up. You need to either gain some economy or stats on the board early to survive, because what Skip does in the early to mid game, his early to mid game, is he drops from 40 to 37 to 33 and lower and lower. And if you can stop that descent while you're on 25, you're awesome. On 20, you're fine. On 15, you're kind of in the danger zone, but you can still win, because once you stop the fall, once you have a good board, a couple of turns ahead of everyone else, you can win. It doesn't matter. As long as you have at least 1 health, you can win the whole brawl. And given the scaling of characters in this game, being the first one to 6 really improves your chances of winning the whole thing more often than not. Masking into Skip is one of the best things you can do on turn 3, because that literally gives you 3 experience points that literally jumps you to level 4, and you can mask again into something that once again does something for you, like Xelhua, making all your characters cheaper in the store. Now, when I mention combos for Skip, there are 5 level 3 characters that I would lock the initial shop for. Otherwise, I'm not locking the shop on the first turn, because as I said, skipping the first turn still means that you see the shop and you can still lock it. If I see Lucky or Prized Pig, I keep them because this is economy. Lucky, giving you those discounts, means you can fill up the board much faster. Prized Pig has a decent stat line, so has a chance of surviving on turn 2 and giving you that additional 2 gold, allowing you to grow your board as well. Or you can go for Brave Princess or Vampire, because they have really decent stats. Or Trojan Donkey as the 5th one, and hoping opponents are more attacking with 1/5s than 5/1s, and they are more on Team Baby Root than Team Mad Mim. Who knows? Might happen, might not, but the variance on skip is very high. If you cannot stop his descent into lower and lower health, you're not gonna make it. But once you do, you'll get to the finish line faster than anyone else. That's Snow Angel. For every 3 good characters you buy, get a random good character. So, this is an economy type hero. This is also my least liked hero, probably alongside Pop the Magic Dragon. Okay, sure, you can high roll with Snow Angel, hence variance is quite high. It is a 4. But first of all, you need to find good characters in the shop, and you need to buy them. And you can get something random like a Humpty Dumpty. Do you want a Humpty Dumpty? Do you want to put Humpty Dumpty on your board? Well, the answer for that sometimes is actually yes, but usually it's no. Or you can or you are level 4 or 5 and you get something of a lower level, and that you don't really want. So at its lowest, what Snow Angel does is you buy 1 character, 2 character, 3 character, then you get something random. If you don't like it, you can sell it back. So that's like getting a third of a gold piece each time you buy a good character. Well, sure, you can high roll, you can get a Fairy Godmother, Arthur, you can get a good boy later in the game, sure. But the variance for that is not on your side, unfortunately. Sure, it is not difficult to play Snow Angel. And in the late game, you have additional chances of finding the Bearstein or that Green Knight or that good boy. But you still need to find at least cheap good 2-drops for those to turn into something else, or rather give you something else as well. Masking or dreaming into this one is really a mediocre idea. The only other thing I would like to mention with Snow Angel is 1 treasure that is both a combo and a non-bow, which is strange, but that's how it works. And that is Crown of Atlas. It is a level 2 treasure that says all your animals get +1/+1 and are good. So on the one hand, you have more characters you can buy from the shop that will give you the bonus of a random character. On the other hand, the random thing that you get can now be, for example, a black cat. So more characters give you the bonus, but the bonus is like watered thin. I don't know how it's called in English, but yeah, you're proccing it more often for an average worth of worse things. So a combo non-bow in 1 treasure, I mean, that surely shows you how conflicted I am on this hero and why I would rather skip it than play it. So I'm going to skip it and go to the next one. And that is the Cursed King. +1 gold and take 1 damage each round if you have more than 1 health left. So he's not gonna end himself like sometimes Loki can, because when you're Loki and you're in single digits, like 1 or 2 health even, and you get a forbidden fruit, then you just die suddenly. With Cursed King, you don't die, but this economy-based hero is really good in the early game, mainly because on round 2, you have 4 gold, allowing you to buy 2 characters. If you are able to buy 2 characters or more characters early in the game, 2 characters on round 2, or in general more characters in each round of the early game than your opponents, and you fill your board up in the early game, you have more stats, you're more likely to win. The longer the game goes, the +1 gold, the 1 gold addition is that less means that much less. But hey, there is no variance here. You just get more pocket money. The difficulty of playing this one is, okay, the sum of things. If you think about the whole game that lasts, I don't know, a dozen turns, let's say, a dozen rounds, that means Cursed King has dealt 12 damage to you. That is something like losing one round in the mid or late game. So you have an economy boost, but in the future, you will have lost one round. That's the closest comparison. Masking into Cursed King is worse than it would seem, because Cursed King's biggest buff is actually that round 2, when he can always buy 2 characters. And having that on round, you do it on round 4, so on round 5, having 7 gold instead of 6 is not as huge of a boost as it would be in the first 3 rounds. Dreaming into it in the late game costs you more health and gives you money. Or, well, it's technically the same, but you know what I mean. It's not worth it. There is kind of a combo with it. I mean, sure, you can go for... I remember I had one brawl where I had Cursed King, and early on I found a Ring of Regeneration, which means take 1 hit, gain 1 health. Take 1 hit, gain 1 health. It is exactly the same as any other hero finding a spinning wheel. Spinning wheel in disguise? I don't know. That's not really a combo, but that's just something that made me chuckle at the time. Alright, 3 more heroes to go. And here we have Trophy Hunter. Trophy Hunter is a special type hero because his ability is really special. Your last breath abilities are also slay abilities, which means every ability that had last breath says last breath and or slay, do something. Early game, it is not that meaningful because early game last breath is only on cat, on black cat. Then you have more last breaths. You can rewatch Muerte, but in total there are 16 last breath abilities in the game, and you do not want to use prized pigs as your slay. Okay? What Trophy Hunter does, though, in the mid game and in the late game, he can build his own strategy. And that is usually a strategy based on Grimsoul with some last breath characters. One of the better ones being Friendly Spirit, the 4-costing 3/3 good monster that says last breath and slay. Give Friendly Spirit stats to one of your other characters, and it usually goes something like this: you have a Grimsoul first. Then you have a Friendly Spirit that had been buffed, and in addition, you have some Baba Yagas in the back row supporting that Friendly Spirit, meaning that it triggers its slays multiple times. So then Grimsoul attacks or dies in any other fashion, triggers the Friendly Spirit several times because you have those Baba Yagas. Some things on your board grow. Then the Friendly Spirit dies. Its last breath is triggered several times, which makes your board bigger. And yeah, you just go with it. Another last breath that is really good as a slay ability is Good Boy, especially if it has really high attack and it attacks first. So if you have a sword plus 100 Good Boy and it goes first, and it attacks into something, it kills and it dies, it literally means it triggers the plus 100 twice on all good that you have on the board. Amazing? Yes. Variant heavy? Yes, because you are going for specific high-level characters, and on level 4, 5, the shop is already very diluted. It is also quite difficult to play with these combinations. I mean, okay, there is one more. There is one more combo. Puff Puffs. I've said it. Yes, Trophy Hunter, Puff Puffs, especially in lower MMR lobbies, is a really fun thing to do. But if you are already in the legend level, you will probably not win a lobby with it. If you do, though, please leave a comment below, and I will congratulate you. Masking or early on or dreaming into Trophy Hunter, it depends on what you have. It is rather a medium idea. It's not the best, it's not the worst. Early in the game, depends in whether there are better choices or if you already have some last breaths in play or in the shop available to you, like a lucky that you can buy. And later in the game, I mean, if you already have like Wretched Mummies, monster books, etc., then why not? Waddle. Everyone is wondering what the penguin is doing on the bear. Please, dear developers of Storybook Brawl, tell us the lore. If you want to do lore of heroes, Waddle should be the first. Oh, that's what the internet wanted me to say. Anyway, you need just 2 copies to upgrade level 2 and 3 animals. So Waddle is technically a treasure type hero that actually lowers the variance for your treasure gaining, and that is its benefit, its highest benefit. Early mid-game, it really excels because it can really get out of control really fast because of those treasures that you are getting. The treasures that you get do not need to be animal-centric. No. It's the other way around. The level 2 and 3 animals are there to help you find the main pieces that you need to find which composition you want to be going for. And the best example and combo of that is Blind Mouse. It is a level 2 animal. When it's upgraded, it gives you a level 4 treasure instead of a level 2 treasure, and it is the best thing that you could get, the best animal you could get in the early stores. Also meaning Waddle can get a level 4 treasure as early as round 2. And yes, I was able to get that in at least 1 game. And it was awesome. Okay, so another benefit in the early or mid game for Waddle is that before you can fill your board with 7 characters, so in the really early rounds, upgrading something is usually not a great idea because you're sacrificing 3 characters to fill up 1 spot worth sometimes 2 spots and get a treasure. With Waddle, you're sacrificing 2 spots for 1 spot that is twice that has twice the stats, twice the abilities, but you are also getting a treasure. So Waddle is not losing as much board presence, is not losing as much momentum or tempo as the other heroes do, and that's why the values here, the ratings here, are so high. Late game, you're usually not getting that many low-level animals, but it is still easier for you to find level 2 and 3 treasures if you want some specific ones. And the specific ones you could be going for. One of my moderators and frequent Storybook Brawl opponents, Lauren the Wise, said that actually Waddle is the best Crystal Ball Merlin Hat spell hero because it is easiest for Waddle to find those treasures, because he only needs 2 level 3 animals to have a chance of cracking for a Crystal Ball or for a Merlin Hat. And actually, sure, yeah, I agree. Another cool combo with Waddle is going for golden chickens. You know, the level 2 animal that you can resell for 2, or if it's golden, you can resell it for 4. And this is actually good value on Waddle. Because if you buy a chicken for 2, you have 2 benched. You buy another one, you have 4 benched. But now, if you're Waddle, those 4 get combined into a treasure. Let's say you don't want a treasure, so you skip for 2 gold. So you have technically 6 gold for 4 gold, which is 2 gold's worth of net benefit. So kind of economy there as well. A very diluted example, but yeah, there is that. Masking into Waddle early is nice, especially if you already have a pair of animals, because then you just get a treasure. Dreaming into it later doesn't do that much for you. Could do something, but I don't know. There's also one, some people could call it a non-bo, but I actually call it a combo with Waddle. And that is getting early pair of Blind Mice and getting a level 4 treasure of Gilded Harp. Gilded Harp is a treasure that says your level 2 and 3 characters available for you in the shop are upgraded. Okay? So technically for Waddle, it's a non-bo, right? Because Waddle cannot use his ability anymore to combine those early animals to get those treasures. In fact, that is like the Holy Grail or the Excalibur for Waddle, because that's his ultimate goal. If you are able to get a gilded harp on turn 2 or 3, and you can keep buying upgraded stuff through levels 2 and 3 and early levels 4, not only do you dominate the board on stats, but remember, each regular character, when you win a fight, deals 1 damage to the opponent, while every upgraded character deals 3 damage. So suddenly, you're dealing massive amounts of damage because you are winning, with more characters alive on the board, and suddenly you're dealing like 15-20 damage in the early game. And you're nuking the whole lobby, and they have less time to find their compositions. And you have a good board position, and you can just keep searching for those level up, XP up spells. So Waddle, this is considered one of the few best heroes in the game by many players. All right, last but not least, Xelhua. Your level 4, 5, and 6 characters cost 3 gold. So this is an economy type hero. Because it just gives you discounts. Giving discounts is like giving gold for some things. Economy, yes. Early game, 1 out of 5, because it literally doesn't do anything for you for level 2 and 3 characters. But once you get up to level 4, 5, or 6, the economy boost that you get is so huge. It seriously amazes me still. Like, buying a level 6 character for 3 gold means that once you reach those higher levels, not only can you suddenly purchase multiples of those amazing characters, but also you can suddenly sell your whole board and swerve in a new direction if the store says, lordy, angry. It just costs you 12. And suddenly you're almost into dwarves. Why not? Variance for Xelhua is only in the form of, okay, does your shop have higher level characters? Later in the game, it usually does. If not, just reroll. Difficulty is staying in the game, building a bit more of the economy. Masking into it early on level 3 is an investment. It's not a bad investment because 3 turns later you will get those discounts. But dreaming into it, if you're already level 6, means you have 50% off all amazing things in the shop. Cool, right? Right. Whew. That was a really long story. But I hope this video series brought you a lot of new information and maybe a different viewpoint on at least some of the heroes. Okay, seriously, I'm tired. Maybe that's because I did like 2.5 hours of talking one after the other. But at least I do hope you enjoyed the series and it is going to be beneficial for you. And remember, if you are enjoying the content, click on subscribe. All right, this has been Calebovitsch. See you in the next video.